Blacklist Hunter here, and today we're going to talk about Pokkle, the magical beast hunter, and figure out how strong he really was. This is a character that I really felt bad for when he was ultimately discovered after hiding during the Chimera arc. So Pokkle was introduced since the very beginning of the hunter exam, and I gotta say he is pretty impressive. It's simple, out of so many hunter exam applicants, Pokkle managed not only to pass the first phase, running for several kilometers behind toads, but even surviving the Milzy wetlands, otherwise known as Swindler's Swamp, because it had so many dangerous creatures and monsters that used the sea to lure in their prey. Furthermore, Pokkle passed and had hard to jump into the ravine to catch the spider's eagle egg during Mench's test. What's even more impressive is that Pokkle somehow managed to survive the trick tower phase and come out unscathed all alone, while we have to keep in mind that he may have had to fight dangerous prisoners and dodge many traps and hurdles. Going even further, Pokkle displayed impressive skills in archery, possibly at the highest degree that even surprised Gon. He was impressed. Pokkle in the Zevel Island phase either had to hunt or get hunted by another hunter applicant, so what Pokkle did was pretty cool and very clever. He found out his prey, approached him with extreme caution, slowly without making a sound in the field full of grass. He then saw the perfect chance and took it, brought out his bow and shot the arrow with perfect precision and hit his target. What's even more cool is that Pokkle had coated the arrow with a poison, so at first Gon and the target thought that Pokkle had missed, but in reality a grazing of that arrow was enough to instantly paralyze him for days. So Pokkle managed not only to secure the points and move to the final phase, he somehow survived during the whole period that the examiners had to stay on the Zevel Island. So Pokkle was definitely better than 90% of the other applicants. He was smart, he was clever, he had extreme endurance, he was fast and pretty damn tough. Gon was so impressed by Pokkle's execution of moves that he took the same approach in order to take Hisoka's badge. And Pokkle definitely has some high level mastery of archery, and he is also pretty smart and sharp. Pokkle was one of the few who made it to the final phase. Although we have to admit that Pokkle wasn't as impressive as the others, he still deserves a lot of credit for making it to the very end. So Pokkle did surrender during the fight with Hanzo, but can you blame Pokkle? He isn't Gon, and Hanzo wasn't planning on losing that fight. So Pokkle, for an ordinary dude, he's actually pretty cool and impressive. Ultimately, he won the hunter license just because Killua didn't want to fight him and he didn't consider Pokkle a worthy opponent. So of course this did make Pokkle a little bit annoyed, and during the hunter's license distribution and explanation by Netero, he was trying to put Kurapika down, especially since Hisoka whispered something to him and forfeited the match. So basically Pokkle was trying to let his frustration out on Kurapika, so he could not feel worthless for winning like that, but he is still a cool character. Later on he apologized, which shows that Pokkle is a good guy, and said to the group that he wants to become a magical beast hunter. We then saw the man himself, Pokkle, during the Chimera Ant arc, and he was there to search for the magical beasts that were the Chimera Ants, and now Pokkle had learned Nen and he was way more formidable and didn't have to carry a bow and arrows. He could manipulate his aura now and transmute it, plus even emit it and shoot aura arrows powered by his aura. So this Nen ability of Pokkle was called Rainbow, and it's pretty insane as he has 7 variants of arrows to transmute and emit. So Pokkle does the motion of shooting of an arrow just like he would do with a bow, but in this case he uses aura arrows, and each arrow has a special effect. Some are slower but burst into flames, some are faster, some are stronger with different qualities. Pokkle's red arrow was strong enough to instantly destroy a soldier ant, but while fighting the detestable Pike, his fastest arrow, the orange one, was caught by Pike easily since he could see and react to his aura. Even Pokkle realized that the life energy surrounding Pokkle was special, and he was high quality human for the queen. So after avoiding a lethal spiderweb attack by Pike, Pokkle's friend was ended in a brutal manner, so Pokkle went straight in attacking close range non-stop, which was badass, not going to lie. And in this fury moment where Nen grows stronger, Pokkle did try to shoot another arrow which could have been stronger and more lethal, but he failed to notice Azan coming from behind him. Ultimately our boy Pokkle was caught and sent to the nest, and later we know what happened to Ponzu, who had gotten real close to Pokkle. It's a really sad scene. Now Pokkle only survived because he had hid an anti-poison in his teeth, and he did survive for a couple of days hiding in the huge pile of skulls at the queen's food area. But when Pitu, the monster, was born, he was sensed by her, and ultimately Pokkle was ended and used as a means to learn the fundamentals of Nen for the Chimerians. When I first watched this, I felt really sorry for Pokkle as a character, truly horrifying ending. All in all, Pokkle wasn't the best Nen user out there, but I believe he had some great potential and he could definitely keep up or defeat some of the shadow beasts if he had gotten more experience in Nen combat. Would certainly have become a more dangerous Nen user and hunter overall if he had gotten more experience. That is a fact. Pokkle's ability is pretty dangerous long distance, and that really suits his style and overall skill as a master archer. So Pokkle definitely had the capabilities to become a high ranking hunter later in his life, and he was a wasted character. Why? Because the GOAT Togashi decided so.